Hey, welcome to episode 40 of 5 Mil by 30. So this is our roundup episode of the big lessons from the last 10 to even 14 weeks now, through a few gaps that have happened on a few weeks. And I want to give you the 3 big lessons and the big revenue update. So lesson 1 has been, so this past 12 weeks have probably been the most challenging 12 weeks I've faced in my career. When we first started launching these 2 new businesses, that initial growth phase was stressful, sleepless, and full of headaches. The last 12 weeks has been a different one. It's we've hit a few brick walls in a few areas, had a few struggles, and I suppose this big lesson has been around business partners. Now, I've said throughout these many episodes how phenomenal having business partners is, and I believe that so incredibly. You see, having business partners allows you to grow so much quicker. When you work as teams, it's not solely reliant on one person to do everything. You have amazing people in different areas who all have different skill sets that combine so well in order to allow for growth, and that's been a big part of fueling where we've got to. If it was all me who had to do everything we've had to do, neither of these businesses have been in a good position. But having business partners has been amazing. However, there is a downside of having business partners, and that is that another human being is highly responsible for running and growing your business. So little challenges, nothing too bad. So in kind of both the businesses we're growing, challenges with life getting in the way of business at times, which is completely natural, but it's a solid reminder that business partners, although they have massive benefits, there are sometimes challenges and downsides, which is other human beings have control and have huge say in where your business goes and the importance of that. And it's why it's so important to make sure you go into business with the right people. I'm in a very fortunate position that everyone I'm in business with, I'm delighted with. I understand the game, I understand how life gets in the way, I understand business isn't everything. But it's definitely been a reminder the last 10 to 12 weeks, the importance of business partners and the importance of the business partner relationship, and understanding that things don't always go as smoothly and swimmingly as if it was just you, but it's got its benefits in another way, if that makes sense. Lesson 2 has been how you respond to the tough times, because when things are going well, it's really easy to be delighted, to be happy, to talk about the huge, amazing things that are happening. And like the episodes that I've recorded on reflection of when things are going well, it just looks like a blast. It looks like fun. It looks like business is easy. It looks like everything is easy to you, and it's easy to have high spirits. But when things are hard, that's when it's different. So coming into the office when things are hard, when you're up against it, whether it's the cash flow issues that we've faced, whether it's sales having issues as we've faced, it completely changes everything when things are a lot harder. So coming in and walking in positively, being positive, and the way you deal with challenges when things are dark is much harder. So I think that's been a big lesson, because the last 10 to 12 weeks I could have easily just wiggled back into bed, put a pillow over my head and pretended the day didn't exist, waking up to fires, challenges, and just having to eat shit essentially is really not nice to deal with. But I believe the way you act during the dark days when things are hard and things are tough and you've got to eat the shit and deal with the issues will have a huge say in how this journey goes and how close we get to this 5 mil or surpassing it. So I think I've responded well during the last 10 weeks. I've had bad days, I've had fucking horrendous days, and I appreciate what my wife has had to put up with a workaholic husband who's constantly in a foul mood. However, I think we've dealt with what's been thrown our way in the right ways, in a positive way, and we've grown and got stronger because of it. Lesson 3, the big one of this last 10 to 12 weeks, has been mental health. So as I've referred to in previous episodes, I've always kind of understood mental health. I think it's always lingered there. I've had times where I've fallen into really kind of weirdly dark places, but for no reason, never understood it. And I think mental health's getting talked about a lot more recently. I think Tyson Fury did a huge amount for it in boxing and talking about mental health, and it's like a lot of people are coming out and speaking about it, especially from a male's perspective, with the horrendous stats around young males kind of committing suicide and all the mental health and not feeling able to talk. I've understood it, and I think the last 10 weeks I've had some really, because of work and because of other things, falling into some really dark times where my head isn't in a good place. I'm in an awful headspace. Understanding the importance of mental health and speaking to people about it has been something that's been a big lesson for me. Because unless your head's in the right space, then you're never going to be able to achieve what you want to achieve. You need to really understand that, and I think that's been a big lesson for me, the importance of my mental health and how to respond to dark times and how to get out of dark times and how to lean on the people around you when you need them. It's been a super important lesson. So finally, the revenue update of where we're up to. So it's quite nice at the moment. One of our businesses, we've had a challenge where we've not grown at all. In fact, our costs have increased, but we've stayed the same from a revenue point of view, which has been somewhat frustrating for various reasons, as hopefully I'll share in upcoming episodes as we start making the right movement and we can kind of reflect on what's been happening. But another one of our businesses, it's on for its first 6-figure month, which is exceptional. It should do about 145 in the month of April coming up. Everything's set, it's invoiced, as long as everyone pays their invoice and everything happens. That's really nice. So that means overall, over the 3 businesses, we're now at a point where we're just over £1 million in revenue for the past 12 months, which is nice. A 7-figure number to associate to your businesses is a nice place to be. It's a nice achievement. It feels progress is being made from me being on my own earning just over 100k, what was 18 months ago, to pretty much 10x revenue across the businesses that I am involved in, is superb. Realistically, each business should be over £1 million revenue easy, so a lot of progress to be made. But I feel like we're somewhat going in the right area now, the right direction. Big opportunities recently come up for one of the businesses, which I think could in itself get us to that 5 mil much quicker than we all could have anticipated. But that can go one or two ways in my eyes. It's going to work really well, or it's going to be a lot of lessons associated and it's not going to work well. Both win-win for me, apart from energy having to go to it, which I can deal with. So excited, because I think in 10 weeks we could have probably the biggest leap in revenue that we've ever had. I'm really hopeful for the next 10 weeks. I feel we've gone through a dark time, but I feel we're on the process of getting out this dark time. So I'm super optimistic at the moment. So looking forward to sharing the next 10 weeks with you. One thing I am very conscious of is these episodes have become a little bit of me just talking to camera, and they've lost a little bit of the fun and creative side that they had to begin with, mainly due to the huge amount of workload I've had to deal with lately. We're going to fix that and take you out on some more journeys. I haven't actually had that many journeys recently. Most of it's been kind of grueling office days, which aren't particularly pretty. But going to do my best to make sure we get more good stuff happening, to keep you updated on this journey and make it as helpful and as real and raw as possible. So I hope that's helpful in some way, whether any of the lessons I talk to are useful, or just so you can kind of see where we're going in the direction. I'm going to sign off, and I'll see you on episode 41.